collaborated with fellow YouTuber Cobra Son of Raditz. He does a lot of Dragon Ball content, but I took a liking to his more original stuff. He's making a video essay on his upbringing and like his experience with mental issues and bullying. I really did take an interest to and related to, so expect some of my music to be in his video. And expect some of my art to be accompanying his voice. I actually worked with him a couple years ago, but I wasn't that proud of the work, so I'm kind of glad that we can come back together and create something new that I could actually take pride in. If you watch my past video, The Changer's Mistake, it's explained in great detail in kind of like a rambly way, but TLDR, I released the series when it wasn't ready and it backfired. I'm kind of like going back, let's do this right the last time. Probably not the last time, to be a little self-aware. I'm sculpting this first chapter and first kind of like collection of chapters of the Changers to be the best that it can be. So I have a very solid foundation of what's to come, because I do have a long-term plan for this. It's just that I kind of lost sight of that when things happen with Webtoon. Even though I did make a concept overview video, it's kind of like, here's what's going to happen in the series. Here are certain issues I'm going to tackle, in a very basic way that doesn't really get into the nitty-gritty of what I want to tackle. Of course, I have a strategy to alleviate that now. So in the coming months, there's going to be a lot of YouTube content about the Changers, more than I've ever done before, because before I felt like I was scratching the surface and I didn't really actually cover the chapters that were being released. Things that I thought while making it, my mindset going into the characters, my mindset going into the story ideas. That's also one thing that backfired on me. So the Changers is going to be weekly on Webtoon once I, get enough of a backlog of chapters to be released. I'm not gonna be like, hey guys, I just finished the first chapter. It's gonna release in 7 days. I did that before. And you know how that went if you watched The Changer's Mistake. No. I'm thinking of having like at least 10 updates worth of content before I start publishing. So what is the real reason behind me going back and redoing the old chapters, Because if it was just art, I would have just touched up the art. The truth is, comics are a form of visual storytelling. And I feel like throughout my career as a comic book creator, people have looked more at the art than they have the actual story. And I feel like that's a failure on my part. Because if you have this narrative and it's surrounded by, good art, yeah. If you have this narrative and like people are actively diverting away from that, it kind of ruins the point of it being a comic. Because if I wanted things to just be held up to value by looking good, I would have become a decorator. So it's like, okay, I'm going to improve this so much to the point where you have no choice but to at least look at it for a couple seconds from a perspective above surface level. Oh, the art is good and stuff like that. But I was kind of looking for something more, and I was almost begging for it. And kind of just didn't. It's visual storytelling. It's clarity. So yeah, in general with the Changers, I think people would be more dedicated to the plot and the characters itself if I had done a better job of presenting them. Generally speaking, the art is kind of what people latch onto first. And because they don't understand what's inside of it, that's the only thing they can really attach themselves to. Maybe I'm projecting. I'm just trying to get into, because as the creator, I have a lot of bias behind what I create. It's either, oh, this is so trash, or oh, this is so good. And I'm trying to train my brain to have this perspective of the outside viewer going in. Round 3, let's talk about Superman. So a couple weeks ago, I published a trailer for a thing called Superman Begins, which is, whatever, Batman Begins, whatever. And it kind of implied that I was going to redesign the character. But still, a lot of people ask me, what exactly is this? So it's a video series that's bringing back the old redesigns I used to do in 2020. But now I'm focusing on a specific franchise at a time before I move on. So for Superman, I'm going to focus on, you guessed it, and I'm going to sit with the franchise for a little while. I'm going to, talk about the character briefly, my history with it, kind of my vision for the character if I were at the helm of DC. What an unfortunate fate that would be. Next video, I'd move on to Lois or Lex Luthor or Jimmy, things like that. So I'm kind of like going through a little bit, going through the cast list a little bit. Then at the end, I'll publish a bigger video making a fake story outline. Like in this fake Superman series, here's what's gonna happen in season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4. The question is like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I doing Superman? Well, one, because I think Superman is a very underrated hero, but despite being probably the most recognizable superhero of all time, I think a lot of people just overlook him, look at him for the surface level aspects, and I think that's why he's called boring in relation to Batman. I don't think it's because he's OP. I don't think it's because he's a super good guy morally, because we also have characters like that that are beloved. And of course, I'm gonna get more into that as the video releases. In fact, the thing was originally gonna be one big video, like 30, 40, maybe even 50 minutes. But I was like, I don't know, I don't have that kind of time and attention span to just be working on a single video like that with such heavy and tight editing, so I need to split this up. Additional stuff, let's talk about Twitter. So like, I mean, there's nothing to really talk about. I deleted the app. I don't log on desktop anymore. I don't use the app anymore.
And moaning and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching.
I felt like I was kind of a hypocrite for saying, oh, Twitter sucks, and yet I still continued to use it. So I was like, what am I doing this for? And I deleted that. I mean, like, I still post, but I only log on to just post, and then I log off again. So it's like, good luck trying to DM me or respond to my comments, because I'm probably not gonna look at it. Let's be real. I've published 2 or 3 skits over the last 6 months. You know, just short videos of me acting. Kind of like little arbitrary videos. They're not related to one project. Like, they're not Changer skits or Superman skits now. They're kind of just little videos that I like to make, and or that I'm using for art class, because I'm gonna be a film major, so it's like, why not? So don't expect like a series of them, but I'm kind of having fun playing around making them. Like, honestly, I just gotta learn how to be a kid again and like making art, because trying to get into the industry professionally, not only that, but being in art school where a lot of this is standardized and like made into a curriculum, it's like, wow, I need to remember why I did this in the first place. Let's actually have fun and let go and not worry about what people are going to think about it. With that being said, I'm going to get to work like I always have been, and hopefully it starts coming to fruition in the coming months. So yeah, thank you for talking with me.